Hello there and welcome to the Bearded Peacock. It's my channel where we talk all things Leeds United, and it's a win, Leeds fans. We're reviewing the 2-1 win that happened on Sunday the 21st of January at Elland Road. Leeds United late winners, 2-1 it finished against Preston North End, and it was what the visitors deserve. Now before we get into it, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel first and foremost. But before we get into the football, I would just like to say condolences, of course, to Jane Anthony, who sadly his mother passed away last week. The Leeds players and the Bournemouth players, his parent club, obviously wore black armbands in remembrance of his mum. Jaden was on the bench, wasn't he, in the 2-1 win over Preston. Obviously didn't get on the pitch. But yeah, all the thoughts go to Jaden and his family. Very, very difficult situation that, and fair play to him for wanting to continue and you know go with the matchday squad, be on the bench, because it must have been incredibly difficult. So thoughts with Jaden and his family. But we got the win, and win for him and his mum, and fantastic. In the end, your Perot got the winner. But if you go straight back to the start of the game, we were unchanged, of course, for the win against Cardiff. Um, and yeah, it was a horrible start, one of the worst starts. We've seen it a few times at Elland Road this season, in particular, where the away side get the first goal within the first couple of minutes, and it's happened against Borough. I think it happened against Swansea as well, and we quickly get back on level terms, and this is what happened here. But if we rewind it back to that moment there, well, Joe Rodon gives away a silly free kick. It's quite a long way out, but they swing it in. To be fair with the lad, I think it's Whiteman, their captain, gets the header back to rescues the ball from going out by heading it back in towards a penalty, the meat of the penalty area. A couple of ricochets. Liam Miller gets it, pops it into the box, and there is Will Keane to pop it in for his ninth of the season. He's a little bit of a poacher. 9 goals isn't too bad, and yeah, they run off. They didn't look like they could believe it. It was 65 seconds into the game. Ridiculously bad start from Leeds once again. Needless goal to concede. It's a real, like I said, it's a real poacher's finish from Will Keane, and he's a little bit of a danger there, and Miller is as well. We knew from the first game on Boxing Day that Liam Miller was definitely one to watch, and for me, he cooked Archie Gray all day long again. Well, particularly the first half, it wasn't a good day really for Archie again, and when you Farker, why don't you learn from that? I know we're looking like we hopefully get a right back in between now and next Thursday, but we he was getting done again every single time, and it was better to see towards the end of the first half where he did sort of try and be a bit more physical with him, which was good to see was from Archie. But generally speaking, particularly in the early stages of that match, he was cooked by Miller all within the opening, say, like 20-25 minutes all day long. Obviously one behind, and we've got to go again. The saving grace is we've been in that position before, and also it's so early on in the game. It was our first attack. It was the first attack of the game. And Leeds rallied quickly again. Which, like I said, it's a strength of Leeds this season to come back quickly, and we were level within in the 6th minute of the game. It was 1-1. It was great work by Firpo. I do think Crysencio Somerville had overcooked that pass, and just a word on him while we're on him. I thought again, like the Cardiff game, he was off it. He wasn't quite on it really, was he? There was a few nice situations where he created, but it wasn't finished off. So then you think, well, but that's not his fault. I just think generally his all round play and his touches and things were a little bit off it, but he's allowed a couple of off games, isn't he? He's been great for us this season, but he overcooked that pass. Fair play to Junior Firpo, who rescued the ball. I think it was the first time cross into the box, wasn't it? And there's Dan James waiting at the back stick, unmarked, to nod through the goalkeeper's legs. And it's 1-1, his 10th of the season. It's his best goal scoring season in his career. So well done to him. He's scored. I mean, and he scored his first goal, I believe, in October. So it's like three months of scoring 10 goals, 5 assists for Dan as well. He's a pivotal player, obviously, in this team, and at the moment he's one of the first names on the team sheet. So a lovely little header. I know he was unmarked, but he's got to keep composed, and he did that. He didn't spurn the opportunity, and we're back at 1-1. And I think then I'm saying to them, wake up, wake up, just look after the ball and pick your moment to win the game. And I think they did have a chance. Miller did have a chance. I think Leeds were leaving a lot of space for Preston to play around with the ball a little bit better than we fans might have liked. But I seem to recall Preston having a lot of the ball free in our half of the pitch. This is where Liam Miller. I think it all comes from a little bit of an Ampadu error. Um, did he miscontrol the ball, and then they get onto it, and Liam Miller goes free at the left side. Probably should have scored. Really, it's a decent save from Melier. Of course, wearing this kit, isn't he? Yesterday, yeah, it was a great save from Melier, and it stays at 1-1. I think that was really the last action that Elland Melier had to face really in the whole game. There was one opportunity from a corner kick where I felt, oh, he's done us a little bit under pressure there, but he likes to punch the ball instead of catch it, doesn't he? I don't understand why. There was a scenario in the first half there where he could have easily caught it, but he decides to punch, and yeah, you just think, just catch it, man. But he doesn't seem to like to do that. But anyway, he wasn't really under that much pressure other than that save that he made. It's 1-1 at half time. Obviously, Luke Humphries, the world dart champion, he is there, rallies up the crowd with his trophy, and he obviously enjoyed that one, didn't he? Um, then we go on to the second half. No changes, um, but we upped the tempo. I think within the first 10 minutes or so of the first half, we created more chances than we did in the whole of the first half. Obviously, Georgia hits the post, bit unlucky. I think Dan James has that lob as well, doesn't he? Where just hits the roof of the net instead of bouncing under the crossbar. We're looking a little bit more tidy, a little more dangerous. Like I said, I don't think Preston at all. They had a little flurry of corner kicks in sort of midway through the second half, but other than that, they were not doing anything really other than fouling. And like I said, like I've seen so many times since the game finished, dirty tactic from Preston. Were they playing rugby, all this, that, and the other? The manager had a little bit. I don't know whether he was. I mean, obviously, Specsavers, had their say, didn't they, on X or Twitter. Um, he said, "Oh, it wasn't a penalty, and this and the other, and oh, we deserve something from it." And Specsavers just puts a waving emoji, don't they, underneath it, say, "Hey, it was a penalty that," but we'll get to that. But I thought Ryan Lowe, by all accounts, was a little bit unprofessional on the sideline as well. So I don't know. But look, his team were deployed a tactic that was very, very in your face and try to rough us up. And honestly, I think the referee did um, lose the game. He lost the complete control of the game quite early on. Didn't really know what was going on. There were, for me, a couple of opportunities to send some of their players off. There were some really, really bad tackles in there, and I think there was one where Jorginho gets booked, doesn't he, for diving, and on second look, I think it's Will Keane puts his like studs into his shin basically, and yeah, I think that was probably not a dive. But look, the referee standard is quite poor. I have seen some Preston fans bemoaning the referee on their part as well, and saying he was giving everything to Leeds. So what do you think? Are you a Preston fan? Let me know in the comments there below. And Leeds fans, of course, as well. Let me know your thoughts on everything referee-wise in that game. I can't remember the lad's name, to be fair. But yeah, obviously Lowe said he was going to have a chat with him after the match. I don't know why. They were surrounding the referee after the game as well. But it was nothing more than Preston deserved, to be fair. I felt like in the end, we just kept going, and we didn't really create that much sort of golden opportunities really, but I think just on the balance of the whole thing, we deserved it. I think their goalkeeper deserves a special mention because he was particularly poor. um, Time wasting, did get eventually a yellow card. For me, if you've got a yellow card once and you continue to do that, which he did, the only way he's going to learn is by sending him off. I'm sorry, but that's the way the game works. I think he should have been, for me, I think the goalkeeper should have been off. To be honest with you, not the only one that should have been really from wearing yellow on the day. But yeah, look, it's ticking towards the end of the game. Um, Farker finally throws on Yol Perot, and it's that man who ends up being the match winner. Um, like I said, Ryan Lowe is bemoaning the award of the penalty. I don't really know why. Ledson it is, isn't it? His arm is out here. It's out. He's even maybe even gone to put it towards the ball. Um, it's handball as clear as day, isn't it? You can't really say anything that you can't say that it isn't, can you really, if you're being completely honest with yourself. And I think Ryan Lowe after the game, he'd look back at it and he'd probably think, actually, yes, it is a penalty. There's no way it isn't. It's a real pressure penalty. I think it was real shit housing, wasn't it, from Preston all game. But in that moment where the goalkeeper is giving Patrick Bamford verbals, he's got the ball in his hands. I think we all collectively had a heart attack thinking, oh gosh, it's Patrick on the ball. Thankfully, it was a little bit of a decoy for Yol Perot. I kind of like that tactic, to be honest with you. We did see it later on in the day in the Premier League with Sheffield United as well, where the they have a player, basically dummying whether he's there thinking, making the opposition think that he's taking the penalty, when at the last minute he swaps with another man. Obviously, this man was Yol Perot, and I didn't feel any nerves really that he wasn't going to score that penalty, and it pretty much straight down the middle, a little bit to the goalkeeper's left hand side. He went the wrong way. Ball goes in the net, and it's madness. To be fair, Elland Road did feel and hear, not feel, it did hear from me watching it. It did seem very quiet. Obviously, when that goal went in, the ground erupts. That footage of somebody's got where Perot runs right towards them and is basically in the camera face shouting and screaming, yes, come on. It's great, isn't it? It's great to watch that. Obviously, yeah. 2-1 it ended. That was in the 94th minute of 96 given. In the end, the referee did end up playing about 9 minutes injury time, but we saw it through pretty comfortably. Really, there's always that, oh no, not no, premature celebrations, but not today. And sorry, not yesterday. We won the game in the end, and it was not the best of performances, and all around I don't think you can really pick out a standout performance. I thought Dan James was probably probably, yeah. I mean, I gave it to Perot because of the penalty, but that's just been a little bit you know sensationalist, isn't it? Really, through the whole picture, probably Dan James was the best. He looked the brightest. Um, and like I said, he's one of the first names on the team sheet nowadays, isn't he? And he's keeping Willie Gnonto out of the team. But yeah, fantastic result in the end. We've got to keep the pressure on. We're 4 points behind. Um, Southampton, I think, are in second at the moment. Are they level with Ipswich, who play tonight as of recording against Leicester? Massive game at the top there. But we could be 4 points behind them come kick off on Wednesday night. So it's a massive opportunity on Wednesday to close the gap even further at home to Norwich City. So let's hope we get another win there. But it was fantastic scenes. Wasn't the best performance, like I said, but we ended up winners. And like I said, Preston in the end, dirty tactics get you absolutely nothing, and deservedly so. Thanks very much for watching. Matched on together. I'll see you on the next one.